Hi, I'm Jon Kirkman. I'm a broadcaster and a music journalist based in the UK. Today we're talking about this. Ram On by, performed by and produced by Fernando Perdomo and Denny Seiwell. Now, Denny, there's a name who you probably will know of. He played sessions in America. He actually played on the very first solo Billy Joel album, Cold Spring Harbor, but he was also a founder member of Wings, and he played on the Ram album, which is Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney, although really Paul always reckons that's the start of Wings. And I guess he's right, because if you think about it, the very first lineup of Wings was Paul, Linda, Denny Seiwell and Denny Laine. So there's 3/4 of Wings on the original Ram album. This is called Ram On. There's the track listing. You get all the tracks from Ram, plus the two tracks from the single, Another Day, and the B-side, A Woman, A Wine. Then you got a remix of Too Many People. Now, the great thing about this is also on this album is Dave Spinoza, who was one of the guitarists on the album, and Marvin Stamm, who played flugelhorn. In other words, remember Uncle Albert and the track that follows on? That one. So he plays on that, and amazingly for this he reprises that role and he recorded it on his iPhone. Denny Seiwell showed him how to do it on his iPhone and recorded his contribution on an iPhone. How wonderful is that? It's a 50th anniversary, all new, and these are people who've subscribed to it, of course, and I think that, to be honest with you, it's a wonderful tribute. I think that this stands alone as an album because it's become slightly more than a tribute. There's so much work gone into this. Now, also on this website, you will see the video interview I did both with Denny Seiwell and Fernando, and there's some interesting facts on there. For instance, on the original Ram, Denny played the drum kit that Ringo had played at Shea Stadium. How wonderful is that? He said when Paul came into the studio, he did a double take. It was Ringo's Ludwig kit that he played at Shea Stadium, and he played that kit on the original Ram album. Didn't play it on this album. Most of the drum tracks were recorded at Fernando's place. And I will tell you that Paul McCartney gave this his seal of approval with the words, "Yeah, go and do it, enjoy yourself." So Paul was very much behind this. And I had a great time talking to both Denny and Fernando about it. And lots of lovely little facts coming out about the original sessions and also about the sessions for this album, because they went through a lot of vocalists who they thought would capture the spirit of Ram. And I think they got it 100% right. All the singers on here are absolutely amazing. And when you consider that Paul McCartney was the only singer on Ram, to cover all those different styles. And I mean, Paul could sing a ballad, then he could be screaming at the top of his voice, and then he could do somewhere in between. Paul had a very, very flexible voice back in the early 70s. I mean, this is the man who could sing Yesterday and then sing Helter Skelter. So he had a very, very high range of vocal styles to copy from and also sort of replicate. And that's the hardest thing, because these songs sound like the originals, but they're different. I know that's an oxymoron, but they really do have the flavour. They've captured the moment. And I love this album. I probably played this as much as I played the original Ram album. So this is called Ram On, and it's the 50th anniversary tribute to Paul and Linda McCartney's Ram album. And Denny Seiwell plays drums throughout this. He was also the co-producer with Fernando Perdomo. And I must say that this is a really, really good album. If you want to sort of have a listen and look at the interview that I did, I think it's in 3 parts, and it's available on this particular website. Just look for it. It's maybe scroll down a little bit, but it's full of really interesting quotes about the original session and, of course, the current sessions as well. So one, I think, for you to check out, because, as I said, Ram was a wonderful album. Got some lousy reviews at the time. I think everybody blamed Paul McCartney for the split of the Beatles, which I think is a little unfair. They all played their part, I think, in the split of the Beatles. But Paul came in for more stick than most. And I think a lot of the reviews at the time for Ram sort of reflected that, which is a shame because it's a bloody great album. And of course, over the years, it has gained in popularity and now is recalled as one of Paul's best albums, rightly so. Because I remember reading the original reviews of the album thinking, this is the same album we're talking about. I thought it was wonderful then. I still think it's wonderful now. I think this is a very, very good tribute. In fact, I think it's more than a tribute. This comes straight from the heart. And it's great to have one of the original players playing and producing on this album. So well done, Fernando Perdomo and Denny Seiwell. Really, go and buy this album. Well worth having. Ram on.